So I have a lot of retro game controllers that I've kind of picked up over the years, and this one's covered in dust. And something that's bothered me about them, these kind of cheapo controllers, is that they don't feel the greatest when I'm playing a game. The build quality just isn't the greatest. They just feel very plasticky and cheap and hollow and very light, and they're not the greatest when playing your favorite games. So I've gotten this NES controller. Each of these were about $5. Out of all of them, I think the Super Nintendo one controller actually feels, the most decent out of them. These PlayStation kind of looking controllers, they kind of resemble PlayStation 3, but what you need, they're wireless. You just need a couple batteries in the back, and then they can attach by a USB dongle to your system. But they really don't feel that great. They just feel very cheap, and the directional pad is not the greatest. Almost feels like kind of buttony and not like a full directional pad. So I was trying to find a controller that was going to be perfect kind of all across the systems I was playing. I wanted something that could play PlayStation, N64, Nintendo, Sega Genesis, the whole works. And I think I found which controller that is. So here it is. This is the 8-Beto wireless controller that I picked up off Amazon. It was about $32. This thing is awesome. I love it. You can see what type it is right here by the name. And what this does is you take the wireless dongle, you pop it in your system, and then you just, you input the controls into the system. And it feels great. Like the joysticks feel great. A directional pad is awesome. The buttons are very nice and clicky. It doesn't feel cheap or, it feels like it's built very, very well. And it's got even grips right here on the back, kind of similar to the PlayStation 5 controller. So I'm going to show it to you in action here. Let me just get it set up, and then we will take it for a spin. So here we got the device set up here. I'm using the controller right here. And as you can see, we got Super Nintendo, we got TurboGrafx, Virtual Boy, just a whole bunch of old school systems here. Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Genesis, a lot of cool devices here, N64. So let's test it out here. I'm just going to show you how nice it feels to play these games with this controller. So definitely a game like Contra 3, you're going to want something that's very snappy and easy to use, and you're going to need to be able to have total control when playing these types of games. So let's just turn the brightness down a bit. There we go. So this controller, especially these types of games, it just feels great. I feel like I have total control over the game. Oh god, unless you die like that. But especially games like Contra, action-oriented games, you're going to want something that's very snappy. So you have total control over the game, and I really recommend this controller, especially for action-oriented games. Let's show a couple other games too. Another fantastic game that you would definitely want to have a good controller to play. So here's another great one. And I've had this controller for about 2 weeks now, and I just can't praise it enough. 8-Beto builds really nice quality controllers, and this one I highly recommend if you have something like a Super Console X or a Raspberry Pi, something like that, or even just for computer games, like indie games and things like that. This is a great controller to use for things like that. So let's check out one other game. Let's check out a Nintendo game. So here is Castlevania. Let's fast forward that. So again, controller is feeling great, very, very snappy, very precise. You can use the joystick too. And I love this directional pad. It feels very good on my thumbs, as well as the buttons here. So very, very great controller that I highly recommend. If this is the one, if you wanted something that's, works well across all the systems on your emulator device, this is a great one to have. Yeah, that's essentially it. If you have any questions, let me know. But yeah, fantastic controller, highly recommend. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a subscription and a like, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye.